Good evening and welcome to the show. This is Vision Radio 345. Mr. Cain in the hot seat again with another exclusive interview. Today I have in the studio with me STEVON Lorenzo. STEVON, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Alive and kicking. Give thanks to the Almighty that
Absolutely.
we're here to see another day.
Absolutely. Another one of my brethren I've known over 30 years, and him say it's plus. Because I remember the plus part, but him say it's 30 years plus.
There's always a plus.
There's always
Never
a
a minus.
Never a minus. Absolutely. So, we're going to have an interview and find out about STEVON Lorenzo's history in the music and, where he is, where he was and where he is now and what's happening with him in terms of where we're going in terms of pushing forward. Because we know that it's been a long road and, it's nice to know that we can catch up with these guys and find out exactly what's going on. So, STEVON, how did it all start for you as a singer?
Well, where do I start? All right, I start at the beginning. I left this country here when I was born and bred here, went to Jamaica at the age of 8 years old. Mm-hmm. In the process of going to Jamaica, my cousin, a well-known producer in Jamaica, call him Danny Marshall.
Okay.
He's worked with the likes of Shabba and Beanie and you name it. He was in the music industry and, as youngsters, we're at school and we performed that, myself, my brother and my nieces.
Okay.
I think the first thing we performed that was we performed a Michael Jackson tune called Jackson 5 ABC. Wow. And that was my first memory of being live performance, dancing, but my head's turned to the back. So that was my first time of feeling I want to do this thing. What
age was you then?
I was about 10 years old at the time.
Wow.
And then from then I stayed in Jamaica for about 7 years. Come back over here. And over here, as I went to school, they had the sound system thing.
Yes.
And my brethren was running a sound system. And then we had another sound system called Ghetto Love. I used to basically just sing a couple of specials for a few sound systems. And that was one step in there. But when I say specials, it weren't specials like we go to studio and sing specials.
Okay.
It's like we're out at a dance or something and we're singing and we sing it in someone's bedroom and do it on a little tape recorder. So yeah, them kind of specials. So that was my introduction to the music industry.
Wow. And whereabouts was you all over the place, or was you just based at some people have a little station this is your spot where you do your thing? Was it like that, or you just moved about?
Well, I was at the time I was based in when I came from Jamaica, I was based in Leighton.
Okay.
We used to go to Leighton Youth Centre and places like that, and then I moved to Dalston. And then I started to frequent around Dalston. That's when you used to have Dougies and Nations and Night Moves and Cubies and you know what I mean? So that was that. And that's the music that grew me up really.
So was you singing was you sing? I know you like to sing soul music. Was you singing a whole heap of reggae music at that time?
Oh yeah, I was singing reggae. I was but I was quite versatile at the time. I was singing reggae, but I was singing the soul. I had the soul. But yeah, I sung lots of reggae. I love Dennis Brown, Bob Marley.
Everybody loves
what I mean? D Brown. There used to be a competition at one stage, Dennis Brown or...
Gregory?
No, Johnny Clark.
Johnny Clark?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother used to like Johnny Clark and I used to like Dennis Brown.
Dennis Brown.
So I was brought up on Dennis Brown. And then bands like Third World.
Yes,
Still Pulse from over this side.
Mm-hmm.
Aswad was one of my favorite bands. When I saw them play in Edmonton, Pickett's Lock Centre. Yeah. They when Yellow Man first come over here.
I was there.
He was there.
I was there. I went to that concert actually.
So once I heard them, I thought, wow. And then that's when the next part of the story is when I linked up with a band. My brother basically was playing drums for a band called Casual Affair.
Okay.
And I went and come in the session and they said to me, well, come jump on the mic and try a thing, innit? So went on the mic, tried a little thing, and from then it was history of the band. The band it started out like a 3-4 piece band, then went into a 5-piece band. We had all horn section, trombone, trumpet.
And that comes on to my next question, because I know there's a lot to talk about. And, once you start to Stephen, I really laugh everything. I really laugh everything, man. But it's nice, because I want to get to that point where we do start talking about, when did you start performing on stage? Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. I think my first... if we put the Jamaica thing to one side, because that was just like introduction, my first real performance is when I joined the band Casual Affairs. I said, come before I fast forward everything. Prior to Casual Affairs, to Casual Affairs, I used to enter various talent competitions.
Okay.
And there was one specifically, guy called Tony Lee, God rest his soul.
Oh yes, right? I remember Tony. Yeah. I remember Tony.
Tony
very well.
He used to do his inter-college connection.
Oh my gosh, Tony Lee.
So I went on his show. He saw me one day doing a little thing. He said, come on, do something with me. So I said, okay, cool. So I went in one of his competition. And I got through to the final because he used to do it in different. I think he used to do it in Dougie's. Then he done it in.
Yes, that's right. I think
he done his Cubies as well, and different colleges. That's right. He done it.
Yeah.
So he done the finals in Dougie's. That's it. The finals was in Dougie's, and I think I sang "The House Is Not a Home," but because I had the
big track.
I know because I had the reggae and I had the R&B. I started off the tune like Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dun, 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 dun. I started off like that.
Yeah.
And then I drop it into the Sugar Minor. It just blap, blap, and I made the sugar.
Yeah.
Baby, don't. You know, so that was my first like introduction on stage. Like that band. Then I thought, boy, this feeling is nice. So I think I come second in that competition, and he said to me, I said, no, it's not really for me, this competition thing. So cut a long story short, fast forwarding onto Casual Affair, I was jamming with the band, and they said, boy, you know what, come join us. So at one stage it was 1, 2, 3 lead singers.
Wow.
So we all like him have 3 tune, him have 3 tune, him have 3 tune, and then it went down that I was the main singer. You know, things disbanded and I became the main singer. My brother he had a couple of tracks on the guitarist.
Yeah.
And then we started to play, what's that club in Edmonton? Famous club in Edmonton, not Country Club. One of those clubs in Edmonton. Right. And we was actually, them times there, it's going to come to me in a minute, them times we actually used to get paid. Because I think we're talking about 30 years or more, more than 30 years. Yeah. We were getting something like £360 for a performance. Wow. And that's performing five tunes. So we do that. We do all the park venues, Stoke Newington Common. We do Downs Park, Brixton. We do the whole.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy. He's telling me this. I know this guy for so long now. What? This is interesting.
No, so we done Dormany Park. We've done the whole lot. We've done the whole round playing live because they wanted live bands on stage.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And then it got to the point where we said to ourselves, but we need to take this seriously.
Next stage.
Because we were just basically a live band, and at the time we was playing reggae. We're playing funk, jazz funk. We're playing pop. We're playing everything.
Wow. I think I remember seeing, I think Paul, one of our good brethren, and Paul Lemonis, I think he showed me a clip of you. I think it was years and years ago. He was on stage, and I'm pretty sure it was, I don't know if Mark was on stage. And I think it was you. Was Mark involved? Mark
came up in another band. That was another band I went into. Yeah.
Okay, because it was, okay.
So that was UK Swing. That's another story. So that's another story to reel off. But we was doing all the various part twos, and we just decided we have to start some recording. But I don't want to jump your question to the next question.
No, because it's interesting. I just want to touch on the how did you get from the what's the band, the last one you called
Casual
Affair? How did you what happened with that? And then you got to UK. How did UK Swing get into it?
Well, Casual Affair, we were together for about 20 years. And we started off as I say, 5. Then we went to an 8-piece band doing all the part venues, and then we disbanded and went down to a 3-piece dance band.
Okay.
Which was myself, my brother Terry and another guy called Colin Sanderford. So we went to a three-piece dance band. That's when we started to do dance music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The 4 to the 4, dun, 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 them kind of. We thought, let's cross over and try and make some money. But then it got a bit mixed up because we started to mix with bigger heads, and they started to demand certain things from us that within our soul we can't really do it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So hence why that got disbanded, and then it's so funny. I released a track. That was my first. It was my first solo performance. I released a track, and I was doing some vocal lessons in a place in Bethnal Green with a guy called Ade. And when I came in, he goes, "Oh, there's some guys here looking for singers." I said, "Is it?" He goes, "Yeah, they might be coming back because there was that scan for singers." So anyway, about half an hour later, Mark comes walking in, Dr. Mark Walcott, and I think Paul and Patrick was with him.
Okay.
And he goes, "Yeah, this is one guy that might be interested to come." And so he says, "Well, come along for audition." Because they were doing things for the Prince's Trust.
Okay.
They was doing like this live venues for the Prince's Trust. So hence why, that's how I got involved with UK Swing.
UK Swing. Wow. Sky's story, man. Wow. And this is what I like to see. This is what we do on Vision Radio. We talk to artists who's been around on the circuit for a long time in the background, not necessarily on the forefront out there and, doing a whole heap of shows, but there's guys in the background who are doing their work exactly the same way and just enjoying what they're doing. But this is his story of how he went through the whole process of being an artist and a songwriter in his own right and still continues to do his work. So let's go on to our next question. Have you worked with any producers, and how did you find that in general without going into too much detail?
I've worked with a few producers, and I've learnt from a few producers as well.
Okay. Because we know how the industry is. We learn as we go along.
Yeah, but I think it's hard working with producers, especially when there's not a contract for say in place, because it's on their terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's different. It's like, right, we're going to do this thing as a collective, and this is what you're going to get out of it. This is what I'm going to get out of it.
Which is literally a verbal agreement. It's not actually sealed or anything.
And verbal agreements, I'm sorry to say, is not everybody is singing out the same hymn book.
Yeah.
What I might think is kosher and right, the other person ain't looking at it that way. So, yeah, I've worked with a few producers, but a few good producers who I've... Do I need to name names, or I don't?
No, it's entirely up to you. We're doing our interview.
I've worked with some good producers. In this country, I've worked with Trevor Davey, really brilliant producers. Worked with the likes of Beverly Knight and Leona Lewis and people like that. Really brilliant producer. Wow. I worked with another guy, and we wrote loads of songs together. A guy called Remy, guitarist, plays with all Luciano. A lot of them he plays with.
Okay.
Them. Really brilliant producer, and my bona fide, if I make $1 million, he's going to have some of the $1 million. That's the way it goes, you know what I mean?
Wow.
He's one of the bona fide producers, plus along with others, but those are the two main ones that I've actually worked with and written my stuff and co-written with them.
Okay, great. Very talented. If you're just checking out STEVON Lorenzo, doing an interview with this guy, and it's been great to hear his story. And not only that, but the behind the scenes and the process of where he is and where he's going, as we can find out as we go along. So when did you do your first professional recording, and who was you working with at that time, your very first recording?
My first, I can say the first time I actually went and done this is a deep one. Casual Affair was doing a rehearsal session in Bethnal Green, and a young lady was managing us called Kim. She goes, "How would you look like?" Remember Buster Blood Vessel, Bad Manners? They used to be an old scab band. It's a white guy, big white guy with bald head. So I think OK Fatty done all it.
Okay.
He's probably in the top 10 charts.
Yeah.
And she says, "How would you like to record with Buster Blood Vessel?" Which she was big at the time. And we said, "Boy, of course we don't mind, earn a little change." And that was my first real experience of working in a big studio. I went in there, he's a big-time superstar, top 10 pop charts.
Yeah.
And he come in there, welcome us like, whereas Bonafide from Time, and went there, I'd done the percussion, because it's the band that backed him, and we'd done the backing vocals. So that was my first time of actually doing like a professional session. But my first time of actually recording as a band, that was with Casual Affair, where we recorded a 3-track EP. But at the time we was doing reggae, soul, R&B, you know, cross.
Very versatile.
Hence why when we walked into record companies, they didn't know how to market us because they're won't I sing reggae?
You covered the whole range.
But we're saying, but look, we're versatile.
Yeah.
And on top of it, because we were writing, producing, arranging our own stuff, a lot of them, it didn't have nothing for them to do. You know what I mean? So this
kind of put them out of business.
Yeah, of course. These guys are coming. They're
self-sufficient.
They're completely self-sufficient. So, you know what I mean? We don't really need to deal with them, you know? So
good strength.
So with that, I would say my first real recordings with the band, where we recorded those singles. We went to a massive company where George Michael used to record.
Okay.
Down Swan Lake. So I can't remember, somewhere like that. It was this massive studio that we ever been to. I recorded a pop tune. If you go on to, is it on there? Yeah, if you go on to YouTube.
Yeah.
Or if you go on to Insta, I've actually put it up there. It's called Same Old Feeling, where we performed at what's a place called Hammersmith Le Palais.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was my first like experience of a recording studio.
Wow. There's a lot there. There's a lot happening there. Wow. So moving on. So that's fantastic. I mean, the fact that I mean, anybody who goes in a big recording studio, it's got to be one of the most exciting things you can be doing.
And you know, one of the biggest, sorry to cut, you know, one of the biggest experiences in the studio I had was going to Kingston and recording in Jack Scorpio's studio.
Big up Jack Scorpio.
Big up Jack Scorpio. That was I would say that was an experience. Okay, you're going to Jamaica, you're going to the heart, one of the roughest part of Jamaica. You know what I mean? And going into where all the biggest Jamaican stars have recorded in there. Yeah. So that was another really good experience.
Big up all the Jamaican
every time
stars out there doing the good thing. So, if you were to release any material, what could we be hearing in terms of the genres of music? Now, I think you've covered that because you said everything, but I'm like, whatever she said, Steph, I didn't fast, you know.
Well, as I say, when you ride the horse, you have to like bring in the reins, right?
It's true.
Because the horse is running away, but I'm going to bring in the reins now.
Okay.
At this stage in my life, and if I want to foresee my career, I would say I'm working within myself for a concept album.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to give too much away, but it would be more on the neo-soul R&B side of things. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And one thing I've learned about the industry, if I want to do various tunes, various styles, I'll just do one thing and just get remixes. You know, so yeah, in answer to that question, I'm going more on the R&B neo-soul side and more of a concept, whether it could be a concept of Luther Vandross, you know, that sort of concept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And easy listening as well, because, you know, the stuff out now, I'm not disrespecting any producer out there and stuff, but, you know, sometimes it gets a bit harsh on the ears.
Very much so.
So I just think we just like to listen to some natural voices.
Okay, it's a frequency in it. Sometimes the frequency is going way over our heads.
Absolutely. So going on to my next question, who are you currently working with at the moment, and are you going out as an independent artist?
I've got there's few, I can't really mention them, but I've got a few people that there's certain things in place, but to me it's got to be concrete. So if I'm being real with myself, I would say, well, I can only rely on myself at the moment. At the end of the day, I've got my own setup, got my little studio, studio. I can write, I can sing. Do you know what I mean? I can do everything myself, but you need to work with people in the industry to get the fullness out of yourself. So there's a couple of people that it's in the pipeline, and they're people that's got connections. So although I'm writing my own stuff, I'm still open to doing things with them. But I don't want to say nothing until it's concrete.
Absolutely. That's what I like to hear. I'm going to be waiting for these tracks when they're done. Trust me.
They'll be proper, man. They'll be worth the wait.
I know. But it's really good to have you in the studio, Vision Radio 345, with STEVON Lorenzo. You seem to be doing a lot of performances at weddings and birthday parties these days. And am I wrong? Tell us a bit about that, because anytime I seem to touch on social media, I don't know if this guy's touring, or is he building up to something? Like, tell us a bit about that. What's going on with that?
You know, the thing about it, I suppose when you're a popular person, I mean popular in your community, there's always 50th to go to, 50th birthday, 60th birthday, there's always weddings, there's always christenings. And what happens is that when you go in there, I don't know if people are inviting you with the outcome of, you know what, I'll get them to sing one tune, but what happens is that every time I go somewhere, someone said, boy, STEVON, yeah, I sing, even the other day, it was my mate, David Reed, much love, my brother, it was his 60th. Yeah. And they asked people who wants to come up and say a little speech about, him. And I'm there talking to him, saying what we went through in school, and his brother Richard turned around and said, "But this man is a singer, And it was at a place called Soul Mama in Stratford. Yolanda Brown runs that right near the Gowtree in this Stratford City. Beautiful place. So they've got a live band there that they've done their performances, and so his brother said, "Boy, sing." So everyone goes, sing, which always happens in answer to your question. So I done a little teeny bit of a cappella, and then all of a sudden I hear the keyboard start playing background.
That's it.
And the drums stop.
That's the cue. That's all it took.
And then bam, and then he's tapping me, saying to me, "Come on stage." So things like that happen, and I could be at someone's 60th, and the same thing. Boy, sing a tune now. And so I end up doing all weddings, and it's just one of them things, and that's where it all takes off. Wow.
So my last question to you before we close up the interview: do you have any material that's ready to be released?
I've got, to be honest with you, I've got material that's ready to be released, but I don't think is what I want to release now.
Okay.
Because when you listen to the likes of Michael Jackson, he would say, "Boy, every album I record 100 tracks." Yeah. And out of the 100 tracks only comes 10. And people would turn around and say, "But hold on, but you don't know if it's going to be a hit tune. You should," but it's all the politics around music. Yeah. And before I can release anything, the politics has got to be right with the politics has got to be right. So there's stuff to be released, but I wouldn't release them now. Okay. But at the same time, there's stuff that can be released by the beginning of the year.
Well, I think that says it all. STEVON Lorenzo, listen, look out, watch out. I'll be looking out for that as well. I'm pretty sure I'll be getting in contact with STEVON at some point. STEVON Lorenzo, thank you very much for coming into the studio today.
All the best, my brother.
And I can't wait to hear this new style of music. I know it's not a new style, but I can imagine what's going to be happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming back as soon as that's completed. I'm right back here to say, see it, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll be the first station to play on Vision Radio 345. For sure. STEVON Lorenzo, thank you for coming in. And just before you go, I've got something for you.
All right.
Yep. I'm going to give him this hat because I know he loves hats. This is the Vision Radio 345 limited edition. I'll give this to my brother, I'm going to go wear it, limited. STEVON, this is for you to wear.
Thank you, sir. I'm not even going to put it on now, what?
And that's courtesy of my brethren Scully. If you go on our website, you can see the link that we have there. He does T-shirts and hats, etc. Check him out. Vision Radio 345.
There you go. Proper. I'll be endorsing it. I'll be endorsing it.
Again, STEVON Lorenzo, thank you for coming in. And thank you.
You're more than welcome, Eden.
Bless,
Peace and love, man. On this.